What's going on, guys? I had a question recently about what steel target I'm using, and it dawned on me I've never done a video on that. So I thought what I'd do today is just kind of show you all my steel that I'm using and tell you a little bit about it. Now, I'll preface this by saying there's tons of different companies out right now that's making steel targets. I got this one back in 2012, and there wasn't a whole lot of companies offering them back then, at least not near as many as there are now. Not good ones anyway. But this one I got, again, 2012 from Action Target. This is one of their steels from back then. I believe they're still making this same model. I've been remiss and hadn't looked on their website recently. But it's just basically, it's a AR-550 rifle rated steel plate. You've got a steel stand, and then you've got a removable flipper right here that'll flip around to each side. This target has been absolutely phenomenal for me over the years, especially considering a couple of things. Now, this thing has had thousands of rounds on it that myself and my family and friends have shot. I've also used it in a couple of different classes. I've loaned it out to a friend of mine that's an instructor for a few of his classes. And just to show you how well this one's done, in two of those classes that he used it for, the students were all told, do not use green tip or steel core ammo on the steel target. And of course there were people in both classes that still did that. Sadly, one of them was a law enforcement class. Yeah, all right, guys. But that all said, this thing has held up remarkably well. Let me grab the camera off the tripod. I'm going to show you up close what I'm talking about. So, for what it's been through, this thing is still in great shape. Now, unfortunately, the green tip that I mentioned that was used on it did leave some very shallow pock marks on it in places. The problem, in case you're not familiar with steel targets, the reason you don't want those pock marks is the smoother the face of the steel stays, it keeps all of the spalling from the round directed down to the ground. That's why it's sitting at an angle like this. When you get these little pock marks on here, what ends up happening is it will randomly send shrapnel and spalling back in odd directions, including back towards you, instead of angling it all to the ground like it should. I've even had a couple of people in classes, mind you, that they even shot my stand up. But that said, this target has still held up amazingly well. There's not a single divot on the back here anywhere. The paint's flaked off, but there's no divots or anything back there. So I'm not going to make this a long one. I just wanted to show you this is an awesome target. I'm out here on my new range facility right now that my cousin and I are constructing on the family property. And as we get this built up, I want to invest in some more steel targets. And based on my experience with this one, I'm definitely going to be looking at Action Target to see what they've got offered right now. I'm probably going to look at some of the other offerings too. I know I've got friends that have got steel from a couple of different companies, and I want to evaluate all the offerings and see what's out there. But long story short, I can say Action Steel or Action Targets steel targets are good to go in my book. So for those of you that asked and were wondering, that's what this one is. It's given me a lot of valuable practice time and training time, and it, from all intents and purposes, it should keep on for years to come serving me well. So short and simple, to the point. Take care, guys. Stay safe. Get out there and train, and we'll see you in the next one.